Kickers come back down 1-0 to win 2-1 against Chattanooga, a team that historically that's always a tough physical matchup. To get that win, to continue to strengthen the position on that final playoff spot with one game going into the regular season. What does tonight mean for the team?
Yeah, first I just want to say thanks to Richmond. The crowd was incredible. The first half we weren't perfect. We had good statistical data, and then we nicked a corner kick at the end. Nil came into the second half, changed the game, played a really good ball to Klaidi. So the game means everything, but we're not done. We still got one more to go.
Yeah, and after falling down 1-0 to kind of methodically start to turn the screws, find that first goal, go into halftime, and then really take over the match in the second half, what pleased you about kind of the offensive output tonight?
Yeah, I think everybody played their roles well. Josh Kirkland got his first career start as a pro, and I thought he did really well for us, caused all kinds of trouble for them. Brought Tony Pineda on, he did well, Chandler O'Dwyer again. So guys just did their roles well, which is what we've been doing the last 3 weeks.
And to expand on that a little bit too, Josh Kirkland, kind of a terror on the right wing, showing not only kind of change of direction, but just pure, unadulterated speed when he needed to. What did you see out of him in this first start?
Yeah, Josh is growing. He earned the opportunity. We were trying to get behind them. We knew that they would low block us a little bit. I thought he caused all kinds of trouble. I think we could have got him a little more of the ball early in the game, but we love him. He's gonna be around for a while.
And the goal that proved to be the winner, Nil Vinyals placing in like a perfect pass right there at the top of the 6-yard box. Klaidi Cela with a striker's finish. Can you kind of talk about what you saw from that moment?
So we've been working on it. Last week Nil came into the game, turned and played a ball, and Simon from almost the same spot scores the tying goal in Tormenta. Nil turns, plays the ball in, and Klaidi gets on the end of it. So I'm happy. I'm happy we're going forward, but we're not there yet.
And then towards the end, Chattanooga pushing for that equalizer there. James Sneddon making a couple big saves. Defense really locking things down. What does it mean for the team to have just a total team defense right there to really just shut up shop?
Yeah, to start with James, if you're good enough, you're old enough. He's proven it. He's a good young pro. He's doing great. The center backs and the defenders helping James on a ball bobbled here or there and blocking guys out. I thought they did a great job. It's just a really tight unit right now, and that's what you need when you're headed towards playoffs.
And then going into the final match at City Stadium of the regular season against Charlotte Independence, what's the focus going into training next week?
Yeah, every game's a final for us. Tonight was a final. The game against Charlotte's going to be a final. We got to keep pushing and getting better at what we're doing.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
What did you feel was the turning point of tonight's game?
I think the corner kick when we scored, because we work on that a lot, I think the guys really said, okay, we have belief. They went in the locker room. We made a change at the half. We brought on Nil Vinyals, who's a very good player, and he started to bring the tempo of the game up. I think statistically in the second half we were better, and it's what ultimately won the game.
Anything you want to improve on?
Yeah, that goal we gave up is something that we've been working on. We cannot get above that goal. We want clean sheets because we know we'll score goals, and we got to continue to get better at it.
When you look at your last performance against South Georgia, how do you feel you've improved?
We gave away 2 set-piece goals in Georgia, and tonight we didn't. Lukic scored a good goal in the run of play, but we had to deal with set pieces, and we handled them well.
Which are some players who surprised you?
I don't know if they surprised me. Josh Kirkland's growing and getting better. Klaidi Cela was a game-changing addition with the last, 5-6 games that he's been here. So, those guys have changed it. And then Emiliano Terzaghi is starting to look like the Emiliano that we know. And if Emmy gets hot, look out.
Really important 2-1 win here for the Kickers. You've been able to start now for a couple matches in a row since joining the club in August to score your first Kickers goal, one that proved to be so important for a potential playoff run. How did tonight go for you?
First of all, I just want to say that it's a whole collective. It's not just me. It's everybody. It's all the staff. It's the whole 24-man roster. So I think we take everything we do in training. We take it to the games. All the coaches get us 100% prepared for what we need to do, and I thought we executed today pretty well.
And we'll talk about kind of defensively first before going into the goal. Obviously, a difficult moment there against Chattanooga there early in the first half, but really clamping down then to end the first half, going into the second half, really keeping everything clear for James up until he had to make a couple saves. How do you feel like the partnership with Griffin's continuing to grow? Your partnership even with the fullbacks on the flanks. How do you feel like just defensively everything is growing around you?
I think naturally it gets better game by game and day by day, especially in training. Griffin's a bright young kid. I think he has a huge future ahead of him. I'm here to help him as much as I can and give him the advice I was given at a younger age. And my relationship with Maxi has grown, like I said, day by day. We learn from each other. We have a very good relationship where we speak. I know his tendencies, he's getting to know mine, and I think you guys can see that translate on the field and us being comfortable as a back four.
We'll move into the second half. Obviously connecting with Nil Vinyals there to find the second goal. To complete the comeback, get a crucial 3 points. Nil plays a ball, from the left wing, finds you right there at the 6-yard box. You're forced to make, I guess, maybe a striker's finish, having to kind of chip it over TJ Bush there. Can you kind of just walk us through what you saw in that sequence? What led you to make that run and be able to score the goal?
I think when you have a player like Nil Vinyals on the ball, you shouldn't be surprised with the service. Right when he got it, I knew that if I make this run, he could put it right on my foot, and that's what I did, and fortunately, everything worked out.
And we saw you having an impact too on set pieces. Can you kind of walk us through just how things went for you tonight? Flashing danger there from either being on the far post, catching a corner from Maxi or...
Yeah, I think the coaches do a great job in getting us what we need to be doing on set pieces, and then it just becomes who wants it more. And I feel like if you give me a 50-50 ball with any player in this league, I'll do my best to get my head on it. I got one header in the second half, but I hope there's more to come. For sure there's more to come. And
then I know you guys are probably checking the scores on ESPN.com right now, but obviously no matter what, focus goes into next weekend against Charlotte, final game of the regular season. What's the focus for the team? What's the focus for you going into this final week?
Job's not done. We take it on to the next game. Yeah, it's great. We have 3 points, but until we know exactly where we stand, the future's in our hands, right? We have this big game against Charlotte, and that's our next focus right now.
Continuing to just turn the screws, finding those opportunities, really making it uncomfortable for Chattanooga, and then having that moment where you're able to set up the pass from the left wing and pick out Klaidi as he's making a run into the 6-yard box. Can you kind of walk me through that sequence?
Yeah, well, I think the sequence comes from, again, possession, from putting pressure on them, from believing that keeping the ball and creating chances and not just defending in your half and all that is the way to go. And I just dribbled inside. I saw Klaidi, I don't even know how I saw him, and then lucky enough the ball got there, and of course great finish, great goal, very important goal, and yeah, very, very important result.
And we saw you kind of once again pulling the strings right there in the middle, being able to carry the ball up, dribble it all the way up into the penalty box, take a shot, find Simon out on the right, finding Josh out on the right, finding Emmy. What was working well for you tonight once you enter the match?
Yeah, well, lately, as long as they let me play and the minutes that they let me play, which they are not much, I always try to provide my quality, to provide great chances, to dribble, to have the personality to play with the ball, which is what I believe in soccer, and not hide, right? I think in those moments where things are tough, the team needs me the most, and of course I've been lucky enough to provide two very important assists in the last 2 games, but it's more about the approach and of course with the help of my teammates always.
And then going into this final match, once again, we don't quite know the result yet as we do this interview, but still final home game of the season against Charlotte Independence, Fan Appreciation Night, kind of closing out the regular season here. What's the focus for you? What's the focus for the team going into this final week of the regular season? Yeah,
I mean, I think the positive on that every game for the last month and a half was a final for us, and it's still going to be a final in the last game, depending on the result, is that we're prepared and that mentally we've put the pressure on ourselves. We know how to play in those pressure moments, and I think it's been a really positive moment for us. So again, prepare the week the way that we've been preparing it, and approach the game as it's another final, so then when we go into the playoffs, we're used to it.